I have received another box from Lightning Source. This looks like an easy tear open. It's perforated. I thought it would be thicker, but I think I know what this is. Reasonably thick, sorry. Just the cardboard sort of masks it. But this is my print copy of the Megatraveller Adventure Manhunt, the Onnesium Quest Volume 1. So this is, it's pretty neat how this developed, but this is an adventure for Megatraveller, the, I guess, more or less Traveller second edition after Classic Traveller. And this is an adventure that brings you across parsecs of space, from the domain of Deneb to the restored Villani Empire, a richly detailed setting through exotic cultures, and you players will slowly start to unravel the mystery behind the enigmatic Victory Belt. And what's cool about this adventure is that it was kind of dug up out of like electronic archives. This is a whole appendix on how this was figured out. It was originally conceived by Digest Group Publications, which was a publisher of some amazing Megatraveller material. I have a lot of it still in print. I have some that I stupidly got rid of. It's probably impossible to get back. I don't know why I got rid of it. Sold it or whatever. I probably sold it to Noble Knight and someone else got it. Probably cheap way back then. Anyway, so the Onnesium Quest, it is by Philip Athos, and he kind of had it all. It was on floppy disks. They recovered it from floppy disks. Some really neat tech work there to get it out and find it. And I'm very excited about it. I'll give an overview. It's a fantastic looking book. It's got the artwork that I really enjoy, by Rob Caswell, Ian Stead, and Nick Gibbons, from the Megatraveller era. Yeah, it's cool. Oh man, there's a whole I love star maps. There's star maps in here. It takes place during the Rebellion era. But it looks really exciting and fantastic. Great maps, nice that black and white line art from these different persons. You got a ship, of course, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Digital archaeology at its finest, I think. Now we'll talk about this in a little bit after a pause here. Hello, and welcome to another unboxing by the Gemologist Presents. I have a box here. It is, how big is this thing? 10 by 13 and 5 inches deep. It is from Studio 2 Publishing, DBA Mongoose Publishing. Using my handy dandy box cutter. Open this guy up. Bubble wrap from the side. And underneath the bubble wrap, one book. A pretty thick book. I'm shocked. But I guess it was pretty big. And oh, no shrink wrap. And this is Secrets of the Ancients. It is an adventure book. Complete campaign of truly epic proportions. Secrets of the Ancients delves into the dark past of charted space and the legacy of a race of incredibly advanced and powerful aliens. Over the course of this campaign, the travelers will see sights no human has dreamed of, meddle with powers beyond understanding, and clash with secret factions within the Imperium, and ultimately help shape the destiny of all charted space. So it starts in the marches and takes you to places undreamed of or unheard of. So pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice. Lots of cool pictures. So I'm flipping through it. I don't know, it'd be nice to get it to the table. But we will see which direction our travelers go. There's some hooks I could throw in there to get them on the trail for Secrets of the Ancients. Man, I got to put in my pile of stuff to read. I got a big pile. All right, that's it. The unboxing. Quick, short, sweet, however you call it. Okay, welcome back from that brief pause. So I'm going to try to compare and contrast these two adventures, right? I would say, well, first off the bat, the Onnesium quest is only volume 1 of 3, and while there is an outline for 2, and I think the author has kind of talked about what could be happening in the last one somewhere on some Reddit, and there's a little blurb about it here. And it's also possible that something that he wrote, Philip Athos wrote for Megatraveller, might be a continuation or could hint at a continuation for this adventure. But so it's only part 1, while Secrets of the Ancients is the whole shebang, the whole campaign. But part 1 is pretty cool. I mean, there's no table of contents in the Manhunt, which could be a detriment to some. But they do have a brief introduction. It kind of says the module. I'm going to try to give as many spoiler-free. I'm not going to talk about like what's going on in the module, but this module is the first of a trilogy. Manhunt is, like I mentioned, the Onnesium quest. 2 adventures. This one here, Onnesium quest, Comet Fall and the Farness File, and it takes another difference is that this Manhunt is set during it was published during the Megatraveller, or it was conceived during the Megatraveller era. So Megatraveller is there's a rebellion in the Traveller ongoing official Traveller universe, circa 1116, Third Imperial year. There's an assassination of the Emperor, and there's a rebellion starts. So this takes place in the rebellion, and it takes the player characters from the Spinward marches across war-ravaged space to the other place, to Farness. So it's pretty cool. So it says, unfortunately, it just has not happened. I don't know if it will ever happen, but the Onnesium quest will continue with Antares Down and conclude with Beyond the Seventh Moon. So pretty cool. What I did like about what Megatraveller did is that they had this visual nugget format, and they explain it here. Manhunt is presented in the visual nugget format, which can help you organize adventures. So it gives you a summary, the referee summary, the background, the player's background, like what you can tell them and what they might know from library data, automatically. Right? You just click on your computer and you get library data. An opening dialogue, possibly to be read or paraphrased to the players to set the scene. The events, which is the meat of the adventure. Then the scene, which could be read verbatim but doesn't have to be. And then there's the action. So one thing that is also cool about this visual nugget format is that they give you these little boxes like a flowchart, and which event within the right, there's which event in the scenario leads to what in each. I guess there is an act in which in each act are these scenes, and they set up the scenes as these kind of nuggets, which is pretty interesting. So I really enjoyed that in Megatraveller, and yeah. So then the next is a Comet Fall, which is the overview of it, and then it gives you library data, like they said, the Trinsvale subsector, nice map. That's what really always gets me, and I love about Traveller is the subsector or sector maps, and then they go further and they give you like the little hexagonal unfold maps. No, wait, is that what they're called? The geo hexagonal. I don't know what they're called. The kind of map where it looks like a bunch of triangles, and then you could in theory fold it together into a globe. That's the kind of map it is, and it gives you a map of Trin and the world, and it tells you a background about Trin, which is nice. And then it starts with the first scenario, which is called Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. So I guess I would conceive these within the greater adventure. I guess what they have are scenarios, but I would think of them as acts, and then they have the summary of the nuggets, like I mentioned. So the first, the Beyond Your Wildest Dream has 5 scenes within it. On the Comet has 5 more. And what's interesting also is that the scenes are the nuggets are sequentially ordered, so you don't start over at 1 again. When you get to the next act, it's like 1 through 5, and then 6 through 10, and it tells you, or actually it's 1 through 4, and then they give you 5, which is the entry to the next act, which scene is the entry to the next act. So it's a very nice, and actually for me it was an easy to read format. I love the artwork. There's like all these little sidebars with new equipment or new vehicles, which are pretty cool. Very, very. I don't know. I always thought like digest group publications and Megatraveller to some degree, when they use digest, they would have these very simple maps, easy to read, things labeled. You don't have to look to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is that? It kind of gives you like a little line, and this is what that line goes to. It's a tag to that whatever they're having you look at. Yeah, they're very nice. And then the maps of the stations, where they do have numbers, so when they have like an actual location and they have rooms and stuff, but it's pretty. They're very black and white line maps, but very nice and very detailed. So I really enjoyed them. The art is really cool. They have like not just the maps, but they have logos for companies, and they have the little the drawings for all the individuals NPCs that you meet. So pretty cool. So it clocks in at 86 pages. So, or the first adventure is 36 pages, and the second adventure is a little longer, from page 37 to 70. So about the same amount. But then they have some appendices. So Appendix A, they have the crew of the Robin Ascendant. They give you a pre-generated crew, which you don't have to use. They're the crew of the Seeker. Maybe a scout ship would work just as well, or any ship. So again, like I said, so they have the ship, and then they have the crewmen. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 crewmen. One was interesting. One is actually a robot that you could potentially play, which is cool. So, and then they give you, and Appendix B is the ship, the Robin Ascendant is the Seeker, and they give you like their little prospecting buggy, which can be kind of cool because you already have a buggy instead. Appendix C is Traveler Conversion, so they're going. Oh yeah, you could converting to Mongoose Traveller, which is very nice to convert to the modern, which is very nice. So that was pretty cool. And then Appendix D is like my favorite essay. It's an essay called Wonderful Things, which tells you how they do this sort of digital archaeology to find this thing out. So it's very fascinating. And then the last couple pages are extra kind of maps of a couple vehicles. So and then the last page itself is actually a preview of Antares Down, which probably will never happen. But it just brings back a lot of nostalgia. Truth be told, I've given hooks to the players for this one, but I've also given them hooks for the next item I'm going to review. So I hope you enjoyed that little review of Manhunt. I do enjoy it. I definitely would use it. I probably would use the conversion to Mongoose Traveller, and I would have to change some of the dates because unless the player characters in my ongoing Traveller campaign make it to the Rebellion era, and then, well, it could be as is. But it could be very interesting, just the same, to put it in the classic Traveller era. I guess it just depends where the characters are going to fly. Okay, so Secrets of the Ancients is a full-on, big, giant book from Mongoose Traveller that they just put out. It clocks in at 256 pages. It is based, so it was done for Mongoose Traveller 1 by Gareth Hanrahan and reworked for Mongoose Traveller 2. The classic Traveller version, I believe, is by Mark Miller. So it does have a table of contents. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 chapters. The first chapter, Secret of Secrets, is the introduction. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chapters of adventure and a chapter of library data, which serves as the appendix. So Secret of Secrets is the overview. It gives you everything that you need to know. A adventure summary and subsector data. And then it starts off with the first adventure, Body Snatchers, and it jumps from there. What is very curious, it's very, even though it's a pretty epic campaign and gives you a lot of secrets about the Traveller universe, like star traveling wise, it's pretty localized. In contrast, the Onnesium Hunt Part 1, Manhunt, Onnesium Hunt Part 1, you have the adventures in Trin and then Farnas, and there is, 57 jumps, 110 parsecs. So 57 jumps via jump 2, which is typically what a group of player characters will have. So that's 57 jumps to have many, many myriad of adventures. So that suggests that really the Secret of the Ancients is pretty linear, right? It jumps from Body Snatchers to then Homecoming, then The Hunt, Descent, Otherworld, The Secret of the Ancients, and then other chapters that if I probably tell you their names, they're going to spoil them away. But, and I would say really because of that, while the scenes that happen at Intrin and on Farnas are kind of, this is the script of what can happen, it definitely is not as linear because of that large gap of, star systems in between the first one, the first set of adventures and the second. So I think that is a good thing. I honestly, if you started the Onnesium quest, would you ever finish it because you get so distracted from other adventures? Now I gotta say the production value of Secret of the Ancients is top notch. So where you go from, black and white, you go to color for the star maps, color for the geodesic maps of the individual worlds. There's lots of art and artwork and cartography in the sidebars. It's very much a top-notch production value. The artwork is pretty much there's artwork every third or fourth page with either full a half piece of art or even a full piece of art for it. So yeah, including portraits of bad guys, action scenes, and landscapes. So it's actually a very beautiful product. So yeah, I don't know. Which one would I want to play? Honestly, it just depends on what the player characters get into. I do feel like Secret of the Ancients is more linear than what I would like, but if some of my players like a scripted adventure, and that's okay. So that would work for them. I kind of would love to do the Manhunt, but again, we have to see what the characters want to choose and what they will decide. I say in scope and epicness, based on the kind of lore you might get from Traveller, I think Secret of the Ancients kind of is a little better at that. I think the lore for the Onnesium quest is kind of obscure, but definitely the Secret of the Ancients is kind of ground earth shattering, universe shattering, I would say. So there you go. I think they're both really excellent products. One is definitely made for Mongoose Traveller 2. The other one can be converted, but it was originally made for Megatraveller. One, what I say, is linear and localized, Secret of the Ancients, whereas the other one, it can take you in a myriad of directions because you're traveling, 57 parsecs to your destination. Is that right? 57 jumps. Sorry, 110 parsecs for one destination to the other. So the stars are full of adventure. So it depends on, what kind of adventure you like. More sandbox, explore the universe and get to where you're going to get. Would you lose track of the adventure, or something more linear? Now, both are kind of epic. They both answer some serious questions in the Traveler verse, but I would say Secret of the Ancients has a bit more, um, of, an advantage, if an advantage can be gleaned, because it definitely answers some fundamental questions on why the universe is and how it started and what it's all about. So very cool. I hope you've enjoyed this. Hey, send me some feedback. I definitely later this week I have a all callback show. So I don't know if you leave feedback from this show, will it go into the next one? I don't know. I do know that this has been the Geomologist Presents. You can contact me, send me a message at geomologist@gmail.com. You can drop me a voice message there, or through the various Discords. Send me a direct message with the various Discords. A lot of people do that since the Anchor kind of died, and now it's Spotify for podcasters. You can still try to leave me a message via Spotify for podcasters on the website, and you can I have a SpeakPipe account, so you can leave me a short message there. But I thank you very much. Music intro and outro is by TJ Drennan. My wife usually does the clip art, but today's clip art are the covers of Manhunt and Secrets of the Ancients by Ian Stead for Manhunt and Sergio Villa Isaza for Secret of the Ancients. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. I hope we've enjoyed it. And TJ can take us out. Bye.